The other day, I was scrolling through Instagram when I came across this post that said, "I'm literally an algorithm designed to maintain your attention by learning from your behavior and mirroring it back, which consciously or unconsciously captivates you and the people you interact with." I am quite literally one of the most tactful tools for the collective unconscious and for personal shadow work. That is, if you can begin to realize that you aren't merely disturbed by social media, but that you are disturbed by your own reflection. Thanks for ruining my life. At the beginning, I agreed immediately. I was even about to like the post when I suddenly stopped in my tracks and thought, wait, no, this is not it. The reason I don't like the algorithm isn't because it's my reflection. It's because it's an engine created to manipulate me so it can keep me engaged for as long as possible, stealing both my attention and my precious time. Why did I even agree in the first place? Well, easy. Because sometimes you consume so much content in the span of 2 minutes that you don't even stop to think about what you are reading. But those words end up imprinted in your subconscious, one way or another, and they can become a bigger problem than you would ever expect. The algorithm. How we think we shape it, but how it shapes us in the end. After coming across this post, I couldn't help but ask myself, how many times have I agreed mindlessly to something the internet tells me about myself? It's like the email chains that used to circulate back in 2008, sending our parents into a pit of shared mild psychosis. Right now, we make fun of boomers who believe the AI-generated videos they see on Facebook are real. But are we really that different when we believe everything a stranger tells us about ourselves online? I'll give you an example. My Instagram Reels algorithm is somehow obsessed with the idea that I have an avoidant attachment style. Even though I want to talk in depth in a future post about how cheap internet psychology is ruining our relationships, I always end up buying into it without even realizing it. But am I truly avoidant? When I think about my past dating patterns, I realize it couldn't be further from the truth. When I like someone, I am caring, communicative, and, to be honest, leaning more toward the anxious side. Or maybe neither of them, who cares? Why does the internet need to pathologize every single aspect of human nature? Sure, past experiences have made me colder and more wary, but that doesn't mean I'm avoidant. It just means I'm human. It means I have let my experiences shape me, and that I'm growing older and changing. As I see it, the algorithm seems to take your most toxic traits, maybe you have a tendency to ghost people, or maybe you push them away, and keeps showing them back to you through people who normalize them until you end up normalizing them too. How many times have you seen a video glorifying things like ghosting people, manipulating men, or taking weeks to respond to one of your friends? Without realizing it, you end up doing the same, and you don't even feel guilty about it. I mean, why should you, when everything can be summed up in a 30-second video in an ironic, humorous way? Lately, I get angry every time I am scrolling and my algorithm shows me something like this. I stop and think, why are you trying to tell me who I am? This can also be seen in fashion. You can tell how chronically online someone is just by looking at their outfit. And if you're just as chronically online as they are, you can even identify the exact aesthetic or micro-trend they are trying to emulate. Y2K, cottagecore with a little hint of coquette, eclectic grandpa with a Jane Birkin-type bag, except she got all her trinkets from Shein instead of letting them build up over time. Are any of these trends a reflection of the person wearing them, or just a reflection of what their algorithm chooses to feed them? What you pay attention to, you become. As a big fan of manifestation since I was 15, when my dad's cousin gifted me The Secret before it was trendy on the internet, I have decided to reread the book this month. And let me tell you something, you don't need to believe in the law of attraction to accept one basic truth. Just like you are what you eat and who you hang out with, you are what you pay attention to. As I was going through the book, I started noticing the algorithm-imprinted thoughts imprinted in my subconscious mind.
I mean, we all know it. No matter who you are, algorithms will always show you negative things on a smaller or larger scale. Rage bite, tragedies, or constant reminders of insecurities you might actually relate to. You can never truly escape. Negativity sells. Negativity makes you pay attention, so that's what you get. And even though I truly believe we shouldn't turn a blind eye to what's happening in the world, being constantly bombarded by this kind of negativity is genuinely detrimental to our mental health. I realized that in the periods of my life when I use one social media platform more than others, I become a slightly different person. When I use X a lot, I get angrier. I start thinking negatively about everything, certain celebrities I shouldn't care about, and trivial things that wouldn't normally cross my mind suddenly make me feel sick. When I use TikTok and Instagram a lot, I start caring more about really superficial things, trends, new clothes, celebrity gossip, and other people's dating lives. I get horrible FOMO, and I feel bad about my life after seeing so many amazing travels, people visiting places I can only afford to dream about. When I go through Substack Notes, I end up with this feeling that is very visible in my long-form posts of, oh, fuck the internet, fuck social media. I would much rather go to a retreat in the woods. I am a fucking intellectual. I forget that the world is so much more than Sylvia Plath quotes, thought daughters, and Carrie Bradshaw pictures.
And yet, the more I scroll, the more I wonder how much of what I like, who I admire, even the way I dress is truly me. How much of me has been quietly shaped by an algorithm I didn't even notice. In Part 2, we'll unpack what it really means to be ourselves in a world designed to shape us. If you want Part 2 as soon as possible, don't forget to like this video and comment Part 2 below.